What's up, guys? J Money here, and welcome to a channel video. Part of it, I guess you could say, a series. It's called Game Chat. I call it Game Chat because it's basically me just talking about a certain topic, Smash is basically playing in the background right now, or at least other games, so it's not going to be just Smash. But I thought, why not talk about something? But this is actually kind of Smash 4 related, and I kind of would think I would talk about is one of the things is with practically because my first experience with competitive Smash, and who actually helped me with give me a taste of at least competitive Smash 4, and that was, Smash 4 in general was actually from a group when I went to school with, and that was WKU Smash. And that's the name of the group, but at Western Kentucky University, and this group helped me out with a lot of basically Smash 4. Helped me out with Smash 4 a lot, because at the time I did not know much about Smash 4 in general, because when at the time I came to Western, all I knew was mostly Brawl, because I was part of his after school club in my high school. So that was actually the group I had. But one of the things is that I pretty much learned was, I remember this group was fairly, I guess you say, new at the time, because of just like Smash 4, this was a group that they were trying to create at Western Kentucky University. Because at the time because the first tournament I ever actually competed in was at Western, and this was a tournament that they were doing, which was brand new at the time, because it was brand new. The first tournament I ever had, and it was probably decent. It was like about 30. There was actually 32 people, honestly. 32 people who actually competed at this tournament. At this first tournament. And this was honestly not the last. They didn't have much later on. But then but around the second semester, it was actually early 2016, they actually then started making an actual group out of it. They hosted Smash4sh, and then later have a tournament like towards the end of the month. Sadly, I didn't get a chance to compete a lot at those tournaments, but at least mostly because at that time I actually was a DJ at the student-run radio station. Student-ran radio station, which I remember, because it actually was my first taste of doing radio broadcasting, which I will have stories about later on, because I actually have stories about that in the future, which kind of was a fun time back when I was actually at Western. So I'll actually have memories talking about that. Another video in another time. But usually around the time these tournaments actually had at least about 20 or so entrants in these tournaments. So it was practically like, when you think about it, mostly the size of like a decent sized weekly tournament, which here in Louisville, it's just like the size of about at least a decent weekly, like weekly on our Wednesday tournaments or Sunday tournaments or Sunday weeklies, or at least a okay monthly. Or for a monthly, it's kind of decent. Which was kind of decent. So by the end of, and that was actually good for like its first year, because actually by the time that was going on, they actually started growing the melee scene a little bit. There was started off with like at least 4 people. The 4 people in the melee part, in the melee scene, and in the melee scene at the melee scene at Western Kentucky University. At Western Kentucky University. But they actually, so I actually left in after my first year in May 2016. I actually sadly left at Western because I had mostly because of lack of financial aid and lack of funding, because my first year at Western cost over 19 grand, which wiped out a lot of the college savings my dad saved for me. My dad saved for me because dad saved for me. Like, yeah. So sadly, all of that is gone. So right now, I end up moving back home and also getting pretty much working at Western Kentucky, working at UPS now, and going to Jefferson Community College right now. So in college, except now I actually am just working at UPS, working at UPS now. But I'll at least talk about that part later, another time. But so along that time, the next year they actually have a group. They actually did something around the beginning of the year, like around the freshman orientation day. And they had a little booth with Smash4, with Melee and Smash4, and luckily enough, at that point, they actually once again helped build the melee scene even actually more, because they actually end up getting more people at these orientations. Recruiting more players in the orientations. So the melee scene grew, but around the time melee grew at Western, the Smash4 scene started dying out. Mainly because some of the players who were in this original group the first year then actually ended up graduating slash moving out of not just the campus but the Bowling Green itself, out of the area, and moved eventually right now, at least, and fast forward to now in February 22nd this year, they have now say the amount of players is probably they have at least one setup and one player, sadly. I think one player and a Smash4 setup, which is kind of, well, at least 1 or 2 people, which is kind of sad, because actually because one of the recent posts that it's had was said RIP Smash4, RIP WKU Smash4, which is kind of sad, because the thing is, WKU Smash4 was I don't know, I don't want to say was my stomping ground, because basically I got beaten constant. I was probably not as good, but at least around those, at least the 2+ years I got experience, they've at least helped me with, especially with, some of them helped me with the basics, with the basics at least, and a lot of the things, because a lot of the other stuff I practically had to learn. I pretty much learned by at least watching the best Mark players like MKLeo, Mystery, Pug West. Pug West and those guys. But besides that case, one of the things I at least will always remember is of course at least those guys gave me at least the first experience in the competitive scene, and at least tournaments and stuff. And one of the things is they actually at least helped me was through those tournaments. So now I actually have to, but now it's kind of a thing now that, luckily enough, the Melee scene has actually grown exponentially, and I guess you can say exponentially, because now just recently they actually I hadn't seen this recently, because in the area they actually end up creating their Bowling Green now has their very first regional with Melee, which is actually next week. There's just the same time as Barrel Bash, actually. Barrel Bash Free is, which is for Smash 4, and is sadly probably the one Smash 4 tournament that's in Kentucky in general, and sadly that's the biggest one that's gonna be in this area, because the next big one is gonna be, Smash 4 tournament will be for us in this area is basically going to be in June, which is kind of interesting. Now I'm happy that Bowling Green's Melee scene actually, the Melee scene in, but now what I'm saying is, at least now if you have built this scene in Melee, why is happy for that, but I didn't say at least WKU Smash group is where now, is there a point you guys are going to focus now with try to rebuild Smash 4? Because one of the things I think that should be done is now try to at least rebuild Smash 4, honestly, in my opinion, because Smash 4, so I believe is this, Melee and Smash 4 can coexist and at least have worked together, but I don't know if that's, I don't know what the guys who run WKU Smash group is no longer focusing towards the Smash 4 and focusing towards Smash 4 or anymore. One of the things is they actually do is actually at least have a thing with Smash, and at least have a thing with Smash 4, or at least, luckily enough, they are actually at least, I guess let me go ahead and say this, one of the things they have at least done is help announce these tournaments with in bowling. Now these tournaments with Vanderbilt and their Smash group, but I've not heard anything, sadly, from them with. their thing with my thing is this, like, with I'm happy that the melee scene has grown in Western. That's a big thing, but in terms of like trying at least, but in terms of like the Smash 4 community, they have announced tournaments, like at least announced like tournaments that are in the area, but at least certain cases now, if you guys do announce these tournaments for Melee and Project M, but at least and one of the things is they try to host Smash 4 singles tournaments, provide enough entrants, but that's the thing, but you can just, one thing is, again, at least a few players show, at least a couple of players show up, at least, I'm not sure, there are a couple of players that are, or they're I'm at least still in contact with, at least one of them is actually Anton, if you know him as Actorial64, he or in YouTube or / Twitch, also known as Actorial64. One of the things is he's one of the guys I still keep in contact with, and one of the things is kind of wondering is there a point that Smash well, one of the things is that is there a point certain few of these, I don't know what the word I'm looking for. What I'm trying to say is that one of the things is right now some of these, now in terms of like melee is, I think is now, if I understand that there's probably someone who's, I don't know if there's someone probably who's runs like the melee, I think a lot of people run the melee stuff. I'm not sure who does stuff with like a lot of melee, but there has to be, I think there has to be, like, at least to the group, there has to be someone at least starting next year who can help run the like the Smash 4 side. At least someone who can at least run the Smash, like help reestablish the stuff. At least help bring the melee scene, the Smash 4 scene. At least bring more players in. One of the things is I'm trying to figure out is why you haven't like tried at least help, try at least get some of the players who are from Tennessee to at least attend these local tournaments, or at least who can at least make the drive, or at least help advertise, or at least try to extend your outreach, because if you have at least helped manage to get players from Tennessee, especially Tennessee melee top players from Tennessee, some of these top players who are from Kentucky, because in the regional they're having, this melee regional they're having next week, they're actually having players like Reeve and Cobb and some of these top players, some of these like top players coming to these tournaments. Why aren't you getting some of these players from Tennessee, these Smash 4 players, these top Smash 4 players from Tennessee, or at least a certain few of these players? At least one of the things is I'm saying is at least help bring players. You need at least, I think in the case of this, try at least help bring some of these players in. Just start bringing these players in. Bring these players in. Start getting players. Stop bringing players stop, like, I don't know if, I'm not saying you guys are pushing these players out, but at least one of the things is try to at least help bring them in and try to help start reestablishing the Smash4 scene that was there back to, at least back to Western. At least back to Western, at least back to Western, at least just start bringing these players back. At least start bringing players in, and maybe I don't know, if you bring those players in and they look at and see that, oh, there are players from, oh, there's these players from, top players from Tennessee are here, there's top players in some of these top players in Kentucky. At least one idea is, at least for the WKU Smash community, is for WKU Smash, that group is, they could at least bring in these players from, is help bring in the, is bring at least, try at least convince, at least maybe, I don't know, at least, I don't know, Bowling Green. I know a lot of us from like Bourbon State, from our Bourbon State Smash community, we will probably try to at least go to tournaments that are like, at least can go to tournaments that are like, at least, because we will drive like at least 2 hours or more, because we actually go to at least, go to our tournaments in, we at least go to tournaments in Cincinnati, Indianapolis, and sometimes we'll go to at least, and tournaments in Chicago, at least Smash4 tournaments in Chicago, honestly. To be honest, we are in Chicago, to be honest. So one of the things I believe is this Smash4 is that, I don't know if thing is about Smash4 is, I don't want Smash4 in Western to at least be dead. I don't want that to keep being a thing that's said every week and every weekly thread. Like every time you guys post it weekly, the last thing I just want to see on any threads regarding regarding the event is there anyone actually at any Smash4 players at this tournament, and there's like one person with a setup waiting for another player, or at least waiting for another player or another group of players to show up. And then the last thing you just hear is RIPs. Like, WKU Smash4 is dead. Like, to me, that's kind of a disheartening thing. At least, to me, that's kind of disheartening to me, and that's kind of disheartening to me, and I think a lot of people, because you can't just, because the community you can't just let, some cases to me, I don't want to see the Smash4 community die. At least, but my thing is, to me, I just think that at least during the summer, before school starts again next year, is that the players at Western should at WKU Smash, group guys who run the tournaments at WKU Smash, people who run the group, they need to at least sit down and discuss, like, hey, we have this scene, we have our melee scene that's now thriving, it's growing, because now we're actually hosting, now you're hosting a regional, your very first regional, which is now one of the things that we need to do starting next year is we should at least, if we do another regional starting next year, we need to try to help establish this. We should include Smash 4. One of the things people ask is, where's Smash 4? Where's like Smash 4? And one of the things is they should have a Smash 4 regional, and we should probably include Smash 4. One is, how can we build that scene again? Well, I think one of the first things they should do is at least try at least get help from Vanderbilt University Smash Group, and at least help reestablish at least, because I don't know if they still have. I don't know if WKU Smash still has a Twitch. Still has like a Twitch. Still has a Twitch. That part I'm not sure of, but at least one of the things is help reestablish that Twitch stream. At least do something with streams, with like a Twitch stream. Another thing they should also do is at least bring back at least. I know YouTube is going through its like bullshit and problems and stuff, but at least go back and start put at least Smash 4, at least put more content back on, at least, even if it's Melee or Smash 4, at least get someone who help run like the YouTube thing. I mean, I'm not saying, I don't know if Anton is okay with that. I know he's doing his own thing, but at least one thing is at least talk to Anton, maybe at least try at least, or get at least someone who is like part of a broadcasting program or media, at least help him. Try to get someone to help you with getting more videos back on the channel, more of a channel, more videos back on there. At least something to at least get more videos, get a way of getting back to where you guys were, and at least among other things. I honestly don't want to see Melee. I mean, maybe Melee is thriving, but I do not want to see like Melee become a game that dies because of it. I believe there should be a way of at least bringing at least players back. At least start. That's my idea. Is at least just try to start getting people to come to more tournaments. At least either here, from there, at least get players. Because at least maybe start to get players from here come to tournaments over there, which is something we will obviously like to do, because we pretty much go to, because if we can go to like a tournament, Smash 4 tournament in Indianapolis, Smash 4 tournaments in Chicago, Indianapolis, and among other places, we're for sure going to tournaments, especially at least. But that's the nice thing that should be done. It's at least try at least get some of these players who are at least bring players in, and at least maybe if some players left because there's no one there, start bringing them back in some way, shape or form. This Smash 4 group should. I don't want to see like Smash 4 and basically Bowling Green die. I think there should be a way of bringing players back. But other than that, I think that's all I have to say much about this. If you are from like Bowling Green or in the area itself, then here's the link to WKU Smash 4 group. At least help bring that scene out, at least among other things. So, at least, but yeah, guys, let me leave your comments. Leave some comments in the comment section below. Leave a like for this video. Help share this with friends if you're actually from Tennessee area or Southern Kentucky area, and monoverse groups, and and let's try at least help rebuild the scene. help like rebuild the scene. Anyways, guys, I'm gonna go now. I'm J Money. I'll be back with more videos in the future, and I'll see you guys next time.